Good morning to all the dignitaries, invited members, professors, and participants. With great joy and excitement, I, Yashvi Sheth,
And I, Vishwajit Singh.
the proud student of GLS University, would like to welcome you all for the opening ceremony of HR Conclave on the theme of DEI. That means diversity, equity, and inclusion. GLS, Gujarat Law Society, as we all know, needs no introduction, has been in the field of education for over a period of 9 decades and is considered as the one of the largest and most renowned destination for education in Gujarat. Its foundations were laid down by the Iron Man of India, Sri Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Sri Ganesh Malwankar, the first Speaker of Lok Sabha, and Shet Sri Kasturbai Lalbai. Late Sri I am Nanavati, the legal luminary, and other visionaries. FOBA, Faculty of Business Administration, imparting education with the goal of 360-degree development of students from last 25 years. It is carving the career of students in the field of business management with numerous specialized courses along with the education and training. As a student of FOBA, we feel so happy to share that this institution focuses on human values, sensitization towards society, and helping us to be an accountable business professional and responsible citizen of India.
Once again, thank you for joining us to discuss a most important topic about ever-evolving world of business: diversity, equity, and inclusion. While these three concepts are interconnected, they each hold a very significant amount of importance in the workplaces. In recent conversation, conversations about racism and discrimination have gained considerable amount of momentum, from prompting companies to take a serious stance on maintaining diversity within organization. But why is diversity so crucial? It's not just a matter of doing the right thing. It's about fostering an environment that thrives on different perspectives, experiences, and backgrounds. Diversity in workplace isn't just a buzzword. It's a strategic advantage. A diverse workforce introduces a spectrum of viewpoints that can lead to enhanced creativity, innovation, and problem solving. When people from various walks of life come together, they bring an ample amount of experiences and ideas. When people when people come across different peoples, they meet new successes and the heights. Equally important is the concept of equity. Equity ensures that everyone within the organization has an equal opportunity to thrive. It's about addressing the inherent biases that exist in our ecosystems and ensuring that no one is held back due to the factors beyond their control. But let's not forget about inclusion. Inclusion is the glue that holds equity and diversity together. It's about creating an atmosphere where all employees feel valued, respected, and leading to a greater high morale. Ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, let's remember that it's not about meeting quotas. It's about creating a workplace where everyone can shine regardless of their backgrounds. So as we all are gathered here, specifically in this particular segment of HR Conclave for panel discussion, this will provide us great insights on understanding how DEI actually works, as it is going to highlight the multidimensionality of issue under the discussion. We all are going to witness that how experts are going to explore this and how we are going to get higher value and insights, thoughtfulness, and learning from this specific context. To have a brainstorming session on stage, we are having a pool of intellectuals sitting in the front, and we are proceeding with a wholehearted welcome of esteemed panelists and dignified guests. Now I would like to humbly request Dr. Maria Jessica Sharma to having a pleasure of talk with her. A dynamic professional excelling in partnership, HR consultancy, and academia as the head of partnership and HR at Go Dharmic. She shapes the organization's growth, talent management, and compassion-driven initiatives with a background as an assistant professor at the MS University of Baroda. Dr. Sharma guided students on co-investigated research projects and contributed to various faculty and university bodies. Her expertise extends to post-interviews and trainings, socio-economic impact assessments. Dr. Sharma's strength lie in planning, communication, dedication, and adaptability. Her roles Her roles highlights the power of human connections and both professional and personal realms. I would request Dr. Swati Modi to welcome Dr. Maria Jessica Sharma on behalf of GLS family.
Now, I would like to introduce Mr. Nisheeth Mehta, founder and CEO of Bhavnagar-based Microsign Products Private Limited. He is the man behind the approach of human engineering, which has enabled him to achieve maximum efficiency while mostly employing people with the physical challenges. His work has received recognition and he has been awarded with the National President Award to Outstanding Employer for the People with Disabilities for the year 1999, the NCPEDP Helen Keller Award for the 1999, FICCI Outstanding Achievements of the Empowerment Physically Challenged for the year 2003 to 2004, conferences on SR and Sustainable Development for the year 2030. He was also a part of talk show Star Plus, Aaj Ki Raat Hai Zindagi with Amitabh Bachchan in 2016. Now I would request Dr. Meenal Joshi to welcome Mr. Nisheeth Mehta. Welcome, sir.
I now kindly request the acknowledgement of Mr. Kshatriya Sundeep Singh, a seasoned HR professional with 14 plus years of expertise currently leading the Human Resource Division at Hester Biosciences Limited. His multifaceted journey encompasses talent acquisition in management and performance appraisal, employee engagement, and many more. Holding degrees from prestigious universities and institutions like IIM Kolkata, NIMT, GR Noida, and MGLI Ahmedabad. Mr. Sundeep's impact extends through his contribution to Ernst Young, Reliance Media Work Limited, Future Group, and Indus Tower Limited. Beyond his corporate pursuits, he generously imparts his wisdom to aspiring professionals, embodying true leaders dedicated to growth and development. I now kindly request Dr. Belur Bakshi sir to give a token of appreciation to Mr. Kshatriya Sundeep Singh on behalf of GLS family. Welcome, sir.
Now I would like to introduce Miss Miti Randeri. Miss Miti Randeri is seasoned HR, posh consultant, soft skill coach, and visiting faculty at Ahmedabad University. Her expertise extends to being a member of NHRD's executive committee, including the Mind Matters initiative. Beyond her professional roles, Miti ma'am mentors MBA professional and young individual with a special focus on women in transitional phases. Her passion for equality, women's empowerment, and mental wellness drives her pursuits. Her recognition includes awards like World Women Leadership Congress and Awards, Gujarat Women Leaders 2022, Women Achievers Award 2022, Women Who Lead National Award 2021, and Indian Achievers Award 2021. Now, I would like to request Dr. Neha Shroff to welcome Ms. Miti Randeri.
Now I would like to introduce Dr. Urjit Kavi. Dr. Urjit Kavi boasts over 16 plus years of extensive experience spanning diverse industries such as healthcare, manufacturing, real estate, IT, facilities, KPO, and consulting. His credentials include PhD in Organization Management and Organizational Leadership, along with LLB, LLM, BBA, BA in Psychology, PGD, IRPM qualifications. He is on the brink of completing his MA in Organizational Psychology and holds 11 certifications from esteemed institutions. Throughout his career, Dr. Urjit has interviewed over 18,000 candidates and successfully placed nearly 11,000 employees. His mentoring powers has facilitated placement of students from prestigious institutions like AMA, Shanti Business School, Narayan Business School, and Amity Global University into Fortune 500 companies. He serves as an executive committee member for the Ahmedabad chapter of National HRD Network and functions as the event coordinator for HR Milestone Group. He additionally acts as an advisor to Shram Kanun Visheshagya Board, offering recommendations to the government of Gujarat regarding the forthcoming labor laws and reforms. Now, I kindly request Dr. Priyanka Sala ma'am to welcome Dr. Urjit Kavi sir. Welcome, sir. Now, I would like to open the floor for panel discussion and would request Dr. Urjit Kavi sir and Pooja Sharma ma'am to lead the discussion.
Thank you all. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, great. Chalo, acha hai. Sorry for a bit of a mismanagement. Actually, Dr. Ankita Singh was supposed to come in, but nobody ever forces across what happens with medical emergencies. So she is not able to be remaining present here today. And I am very much glad that Ms. Miti accepted the invitation yesterday night and she has consented to be a panel member for this discussion. So this topic of diversity, equity and inclusion is always an interest to all the organizations. And our attempt here throughout this panel discussion would be to give you an idea about how the discussion happens or what exactly diversity, equity and inclusion is as a topic into the industry and how these stalwarts have actually implemented it and how they are driving across it as an important part of their event. I would first like to invite Mr. Sundeep Singh to present up his views on that.
So thank you and good morning, everyone. First of all, it was again a privilege. I don't know Anand sir knows me or not, but I have fortunate to got a trained in EY in Mumbai in 2016-17 at Sahara. So it was really a small world. I was not expecting, but yes, he was there. So guys, largely sir has covered everything into his 3 slides presentation, which is on diversity, equity and inclusiveness. Largely, if you see, diversity and inclusiveness are very well understood nowadays. Equity is something where people struggle. That also, sir, make it very clear that it's not equality, it's giving equal opportunity to everyone. So, largely it has been covered, but yes, I can have my other panel members to have a word on this.
Good morning, everyone. So we talk about diversity, DEI, buzzword currently. But DEI is not really something which is new age. DEI is something which we have been discussing since ages. You know, the first thing that comes to mind most of the time when we talk about DEI is the gender disparity, right? But it's not really just the gender disparity. It goes way beyond the gender disparity. There is diversity in every facet of life. Martin Luther King Jr. once said that we have all come in different ships, but we are all in the same boat now, right? Which means that we all come with our different skill sets, value systems, mindsets, etc. How do we leverage this diversity is what DEI is all about in organizations.
Nisheeth sir, sir, as we all know that you've actually implemented DEI in your organization. So we would be happy to know if you share your experience when it is coming to implementation of DEI.
Yes. First of all, I like to congratulate GSL and NHRDS for doing this kind of conclave, HR conclave for the youngsters of this MBA people, students. खास करके मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि some of the things are not for discussion, but I am not a good speaker, but I am a practitioner since 40 years. And I feel that if you have some findings, when you do the business with the working with the normal people, and you find the problem after 15 years, that why this problem cannot be solved by some other people who is differently able people or uniquely able people, how that can be benefited to my company, and if I am sensible enough to give a better solution, which solution can become part and partial fruitful for the people and for my company, how I can get the win-win situation, and by implementing and by taking the necessary trial without bias, if I can do the trial, I think we are truly successful, because since 40 years we didn't find any problem. To give them opportunity, it is a fruitful results for our company. And in normal course, people are saying that these people are the liabilities, but they have become the true asset for the microsign. And that is our experience of 40 years.
Thank you, sir.
And what is my feeling that students particularly, whoever is interested, because we in our from Ahmedabad and from Rajkot, all MBA college students are visiting, HR student. They are supposed to come, and seeing is believing. Instead of just talking, come in the morning, start in the morning, come evening. They will learn a lot, because we have not to teach them, they have to learn. And they can learn only by the observation, detailed observation, what is happening and what kind of problems in the normal people we are having. And these people are having disability, but they don't have any problem. You can see by their face also. That is my feelings, that all the students are supposed to visit this kind of place. And they will learn a lot. What is my feeling?
Thank you, sir. Sir, actually at our college, we are having one club, it's a Samvedna. And every year we are organizing such type of events. Whether at that time we are bringing them to the college, we are actually organizing different types of competitions to sensitize our students. And to make them feel that they are also part of the same community. So we try to implement this inclusion over here.
Do come. Most welcome.
Yes.
From Rajkot, Atmiya College and many colleges, they are visiting by bus 30-35 students. Morning they come and the evening they go back, with having the fullest satisfaction. Whatever the question they are having, they will be getting. Because it is not to be taught, it is to be learned.
Right, sir.
Learning attitude is there, they will learn a lot.
So, sir, definitely will bring our students to the industry. Miss Jessica, welcome. As in practicing professional, the list is very long of challenges, but from your viewpoint, we would like to know few.
Thank you, ma'am. Let me congratulate NHRD and GLS for putting this together. Hi and good morning, everyone. One of the challenging questions is put on me, but I feel a bit incapable, especially after Anand sir already speaking about the challenges. What new should I bring about? Obviously, skill set, will set, mindset. So the change has to come if we have to accept. And I think to add on to the mindset, acceptance becomes more important in order to overcome any kind of challenges when we are trying to implement diversity, equity, and inclusion. I'm a POSH enabler, which is a very small fragment of diversity. We talk about the challenges faced by women only, right? However, the topic is very broad. It's not just gender. right? Diversity in all forms, be it interracial, be it being differently abled. So, yes, and I'm happy, sir, you pointed it out. But the moment I entered this auditorium, the first thought that even I had was we are going to talk about inclusion, and we don't have the necessary space to be inclusive yet. I hope maybe next time when I come, there are more avenues. And it's only acceptance, it's only sensitivity, it's only understanding that people can have different needs and to be more sensitive about others' needs over our own needs. I think that'll help us overcome. I mean, if we get to that point, then I think you will not need to answer the question that what are the challenges. Those will be automatically taken care of. I hope I have done some justice to your question, though. But it's a very wide topic, and everybody comes in with different aspects to it. So everybody can bring in their own ideas to the table. That is diversity. What we pick and choose and how we integrate all of that to ensure we give a holistic picture is inclusion. Now, give me just 1 minute. I'm sure everybody in this audience uses Google Maps, right? So do you also give reviews to places? Do you also do fact checking, answer questions, everything? So for those who do, what is the most commonly asked question which comes in every place that you review? How was a particular place? Are you satisfied? I don't think they do ask satisfaction, but okay. The most yes, your experience. But besides that, yes, accessibility, right? That was what thank you so much. So that was what I was looking for. Is that place wheelchair accessible? Does that place have wheelchair parking, right? Why are these questions asked? Why does Google need to know? To make these places more inclusive for people who are using technology to be able to access those places. I think we can all learn from that and create spaces which are more accessible. That'll rule out all challenges. Thank you.
So, Nisheeth sir, this question was for you. आपकी कंपनी के बारे में इतना ऑलरेडी आ चुका है that you have implemented a successful model using differently abled people. तो जब आप implement कर रहे थे तब आपको कैसी challenges आई थी और आपने उसका कैसे solutions किया था?
मैं एक्चुअली मेरे वहाँ 1978 से 1986 तक नॉर्मल पीपल ही काम करते थे. वही उसी में से चैलेंज आया कि टू टैकल द नॉर्मल पीपल इट बिकम समटाइम्स डिफ़िकल्ट. हमारा बैटरी डाउन हो जाता था, प्रोडक्टिविटी कम होती थी, कैलकुलेशन के साथ प्रोडक्टिविटी होती थी. तो मैंने सोचा कि इसमें से कुछ रास्ता निकालना पड़ेगा कि व्हाट इज़ अबाउट द डिफरेंटली एबल्ड पीपल इफ़ यू विल गिव द अपॉर्चुनिटी. Then if there you consider as a challenge, but I can see that there is a opportunity. Wherever there is a challenge, opportunity will be there just behind that only. So I have catched the opportunity. That challenge मैंने ले लिया और opportunity लेने उसका opportunity को मेरे को फ़ायदा ये मिला कि they work with the heart center, not mind center. Our normal people are having always mindful only, but mindful are person to person HR. That relation can build up only by heart only, not only by mind. So we are much more using the mind everywhere. Don't use it so much. If it is a technical matter, it is okay, but when it is about the relation and bonding, you require a heartfulness, soulfulness. Not only mindfulness. Mindfulness can do the discussion and everything, but what will be the conclusion in reality? तो reality conclusion में आपको सरल बनना चाहिए, सही बनना चाहिए, सोच अच्छी करना चाहिए, दूसरों की भलाई के लिए सोचना चाहिए और दूसरों का भला में अपनी कंपनी का भला कैसे है, बस उतना ही सोचो, उससे ज़्यादा बहुत सोचने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि सोच से काम नहीं होने वाला है। सोच से डिस्कशन हो सकता है, बहुत कुछ डिस्कशन हो सकता है, मगर दैट माइंडफुलनेस इज़ नॉट एवरीवेयर इट इज़ नेसेसिटी, because all people are having the much more mind and doing discussion. कंक्लूजन क्या निकालेंगे? कंक्लूजन निकालने के लिए सही लोग चाहिए, सरल चाहिए, निष्ठावान चाहिए, डेडिकेशन चाहिए और कमिटमेंट चाहिए। वो चीज़ के लिए ज़्यादा पढ़ाई की ज़रूरत नहीं होती है। कम पढ़ाई वाले लोग, ये इसरो में हमने माल सप्लाई करते हैं, जो हमारे ऑर्थोपेडिकली हैंडीकैप लोग हैं, हमने 5% से शुरू किया। As on today, they are 75% people are our HR is differently abled. And we are very happy that we are increasing that ratio, because all the people are not having more than 10th standard. From uneducated people, they can make the product even for the ISRO. And we are supplying with the full of satisfaction. It is because we have done the strategy that we have done the upgradation of technology from Japan with artificial intelligence, and people are differently abled. So both the way we have proceeded further, that we have not compromised with the quality, and at the same time, for high retainership of the HR, we have given the much more chances to the differently abled people, because they don't never have the jumping attitude. Normal people are never be there more than 3 years. And that experience has taught us how to tackle the people and how to tackle the upgrading your technology also. And that we are parallelly doing. At the same time, we are having the nearly, you can say that one of revenues we are generating because of the solar energy. So we have the electricity saving, water harvesting also we have done. So it is a sustainable way we have done the parallel so many things.
Sir, as we heard the views and experience of Nisheeth sir in terms of implementing inclusivity of physically challenged and differently abled people. But as the functionality of HR, when we think about mapping competency, deciding the entire path to recruit the people. So, what sort of challenges this fraternity actually face?
So I will share my experience, especially with my previous organization. A lot of people may know the name Ernst & Young, which is a consulting company, right? As Sir said, that diversity is bifurcated into 3 parts. One is demographic diversity, which is more in terms of age, gender, ethnicity. Then it definitely comes at cultural diversity, people from different nationalities, then languages. And third is, of course, the educational background and all. So now for a company like EY, if you see educational background, because we are consulting organization and we used to give all kind of services, may it be an IT related, process improvement related, audit related. So we have background of people who are coming from chartered accountant, lawyer, management, engineer, science, everywhere. So that's not a challenge. Second, we were present in 150 countries and with around 750 offices. So nationality, language is again not a challenge. What was challenge is demographic diversity. 2 major ones. One is gender and another one was people with special ability, right? So we have worked a lot of, I joined in 2014 and I left EY in 2019. During this 7.5 years, I will share my experience when it comes to gender diversity. And people believe that we are gender neutral. But as Sir said, mindset is very much important. So it starts from home. When you have a male kid and a female kid, a parent, how they decide the career. Largely, if I talk about, I completed my MBA in 2009. And I have taken MBA HR as my specialization. Those days, out of 30 odd in MBA HR, 28 were females. I don't know the situation right now. And there were only two gentlemen, me and one of my friend Arpit Jain. And people used to say, तुमने कौन सा field ले लिया? ये तो लड़कियों के लिए है, right? So even if you see currently also, lot of people will focus. अगर female child है, तो उसको कहाँ जाना चाहिए? Teaching में, arts में, financial jobs में, sitting jobs basically. अगर मेल चाइल्ड है तो क्या सोचते हैं? सैलरी, रिकग्निशन, फेम, ट्रैवलिंग कहाँ पर होगा? सो दैट नीड्स टू बी चेंज फर्स्ट. So similarly, a company like EY, which is a very, very huge name, a company based from London, in India, there are our challenges because culturally we are different from other countries. So our gender ratio used to be 4-5%. So 95% used to be male. And the biggest challenge is when we speak to our leadership team, they say that females will not travel, they will not sit late, its work-life balance is an issue. They will not travel to remote locations because as a consultant, people used to go to all remote locations across India. So problem with Indians is we don't want to travel within country, we want to travel outside India, whether it is remote or a metro city. So this was the challenge and we were not getting it. So first challenge what we have started is, we started with a program called Recruit Her, right? It's a specialized hiring where we only recruited females. Again, I am clearing it out that when we hiring females, it doesn't mean कि हमने सिर्फ female है इसलिए लिया. Educational qualification, career aspiration, सारी चीज़ देखने के बाद लिया. But the idea was, give them female candidates only, they have to select, right? Second thing, we used to go to all the campuses. You name a college, we used to go there. In beginning, it was tier 1, tier 2, then we started going to tier 3 also. So there also we have bounded them that 20% of hiring should be female employees. And obviously the gender ratio has increased in next 2 to 3 years and we reached to 20%, right? Which was a target as an HR function we have taken. Post that the next challenge came in that at women leadership, it was hardly one. Out of 400 partners, we used to have one female partner. So what we realized is, we realized that females largely leave the job during their maternity break. So in 2015, we came up with a policy called Mom EY. Mom EY, first thing which we have changed is back in game, which is basically a female employee, because of maternity, leaves the organization. Within 5 years, she can come back, irrespective of position hai ki nahi hai. We have given that. Obviously, performance is one criteria that a female employee who is moving out should be a performer. Similarly, there are policies where My Life, we have introduced some flexi timing, extended maternity breaks, telecommuting, part-time options. Work from home was very much popular in IT companies, but Big Fours, it started in COVID days, so work from was not the option. If you see now, typically around 40 to 50 female partners we have in EY, if you talk about 2023. So you will see the change. Yes, there is a difficulty. There is a preconceived notion because in industry we have baby boomers, people who are at the age of 55, 57. Then we have generation X, which is basically people with the age of 45 to 50. Then we have generation Y, which are called as millennials, which basically largely there would be people who are sitting in this panel. And then generation Z, which you guys, people who born after 97. So obviously there are challenges when we tackle. And lastly, when I was coming out, we also identified, being a consulting organization, we have identified PWD hiring. So across 11 offices in India, we decided that every office should have at least 5 PWD hirings, which is person with disability. So we have to identify the roles and then we have to recruit them. So very, very important, and nowadays companies are doing it. Consulting is all about style, intellects, but if you see these interventions, organizations are changing. Even I think recently, I was reading in July and August, Gujarat University got its first woman chancellor, right? Gujarat Technology University is also getting a woman chancellor. So world is changing, but yes, still mindset needs to be changed, and that starts from home. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sandeep ji. To add to this, how many of you all definitely would be watching across Kapil Sharma show? कितने लोग देखते हैं? एक एपिसोड ध्यान में है सबको? सुधा मूर्ति had attended that episode. उनका भी उन्होंने एक्सपीरियंस शेयर किया था that when she used to work, she was the only engineering student in the entire college, a female engineering student. So it's not that it is happening right now. It began a long back. But now the things are that we need to sustain it across and we need to change across the concepts कि ये काम सिर्फ मेल कर सकता है, ये काम फीमेल नहीं कर सकती. As rightly said by Pillai sir that it's about mindset. Skill set and everything we can teach across. We can make people understand कि काम कैसे करना है. But अगर उसका दिमाग चेंज नहीं होगा तो you cannot get anything implemented. So to in continuation to that, the next question to you, Ms. Maria was, Dr. Maria was that how the organizations are tackling across such mindset to incorporate all the inclusiveness culture in their organization.
Now, I work with one organization, but I'm also consulting for POSH to various organizations. So across all organizations, I think what really needs to change, again, and we'll keep on talking about this, and this word will come out a lot onto this dais, is the mindset. So even while working with women per se, a lot of training programs that I conduct, the participants are either only women or the participants are either only men. They both do not want to sit in the same room where sexual harassment is being talked about. Why? Because they feel they may not be able to see eye to each other. So I think a change in the mindset would definitely help, but that mindset, prejudiced mindset, we should not be able to say that it's only the men who think like that, or it's because sometimes it's also like I came across a case wherein there was major in communication gaps between people in one team, and that team had like 5 men and 1 woman. So it was challenging to get work done only because the woman was raised with an understanding के लड़कों से बात नहीं करना है. She wouldn't communicate. She wouldn't open up. She wouldn't speak. Those people would come, she would backtrack. So that's a challenge. Now you have to work extensively with her to make her understand that not everybody speaks to you with a certain prejudice in their minds, and you also have to, as sir said, towards the end, grow up, right? That is, and if you want to scale, if you want to grow, you have to look at people as people, not someone who you can eat, not someone who you can pray, not someone who you can harass, but as a dignified individual who needs their space, whether they come from a different gender or a different gendered orientation. In today's society, the world where I lived, or the grammar that I was taught, it was all masculine, feminine and neuter gender, right? But in today's society, the generation that you will be working with, I am a female, I identify as a male. Or someone is a male who identifies as a female. Or someone who is a male but identifies as both a male and a female. So you have different orientations also coming into your society. That also becomes a challenge. Accepting those people, accepting the transgender. Only very few states in our country currently have job opportunities for the transgenders. That is also a diverse community, right? And at the very lower end of the socio-economic strata, what do they do? What have you seen them doing largely? Begging, dancing at weddings, offering blessings and taking some money, right? And many a times shooed away. You don't want to be with them, you don't want to be close to them. But they also deserve an opportunity. So, and the challenge would be how? Facilities. Sir said, JMD Reliance, they had only toilets. Now you have male female toilets, you'll also need a transgender. Where will they go, right? So it all has to come from the fact that you are sensitive to understand people's needs. Right now, UGC has a regulation. You have to have Divyangjan, facilities also in colleges. So whatever, I come from MS University, so even we had a Divyangjan set up much later. ऐसा नहीं है कि उनको पहले ज़रूरतें नहीं होती होंगी, but they had problems. They wouldn't come out. They wouldn't speak. There was no voice representing their representation. Now you have. Gradually, everyone is voicing their opinions. The fact is how you listen to it, how you enact on it, and how you come up. We have sexual harassment. Ma'am is also a trainer here. The act only protects women, right? So it's prevention of sexual harassment for women at workplace. आदमियों के साथ नहीं होता, nobody talks about it, right? Because they are not protected under the law. Organizations can have their own policies, right? So जो भी बोलता नहीं है उसकी सुनी भी नहीं जाती. KKDS, you have to speak up. करके दिखाओ, change it, right? So I will keep quoting because sir has given such a magnificent speech. उसके बाद ये कुछ भी बोलना ना, it seems irrelevant. But again, I think when you all walk out of this room, don't walk out with a prejudiced understanding of people, whether they come from different genders or different societies or different languages or whatever. Look at it from people who need opportunities, equitable opportunities, right? You mentioned that people watch television. This generation is an OTT generation, right? So I'm sure Made in Heaven season 2 भी देखा होगा, right? Episode number 5 भी देखा होगा, right? Where that lady says, why do you have different starting points for the racers? Do you remember? Yeah? And what was the answer? You tell. Because each one's distance is different. So their starting points are also different. It's same with the society. Each one's starting point is different. End destination might be the same. So you have to understand that everybody comes from a different background. Organizations cannot per se, sorry to say, but decide whether you want to be diverse, inclusive, equitable. Society becomes like that first. Societies represent the organization, and then organizational values are also built around to suit society. Otherwise, you would not have a KFC veg zinger burger, no? What's the name? Kentucky Fried Chicken, right? But you have a zinger burger. Or McDonald's. Domino's in Gujarat doesn't serve non-vegetarian pizza. Yeah? Why? Inclusivity. They want to commercialize. They want to be a part of you in your life. Otherwise, you wouldn't go to that place. है ना? So, if society, then organizations. So, it comes from people. It comes from, as Mr. Sundeep said, from home. Right? I hope I have answered your question, but this is the best representation.
Ma'am, in continuation of your points, actually I was going through one article. उस आर्टिकल में ऐसा था कि चाणक्य ने मौर्यास को सजेस्ट किया था कि डोंट ट्रीट देम एज अ पार्ट ऑफ मार्जिनलाइज सोसाइटी. So at that point of time, the kind of competency mapping was being done, और जो ट्रेजरी वर्क था वो जो लोग नहीं सुन सकते और बोल नहीं सकते उन लोगों को असाइन किया गया, बिकॉज दिस इज़ समथिंग दैट इज़ टू बी कैप्ट कॉन्फिडेंशियल. तो मतलब वी कैन थिंक कि this used to be a practice. Slowly and gradually the scenario got changed. Then even after independence we got certain sort of norms, rules, acts, and now in corporate level we are talking about this DEI concept. But when we think about that era, that was having this inclusivity concept, because जब बोल नहीं सकते, सुन नहीं सकते, तो इसका मतलब क्या है कि जितना confidential है वो उतना confidential रह जाएगा. How those things will be leaked जब एक normal person होगा, and then there can be a thought of greed over there. So this is going to be my last question. Your experience in Torrent, as you connect now two different segments, industry and academia. So over to you.
Thank you. So, I joined Torrent in 2006, straight out of my MBA. And over the years, somewhere around 2009-10, we had the Vishakha guidelines coming in. And like Maria rightly pointed out, the first question that we had as the core committee working on this initiative was, why is the law only for women? Okay? And it's a very simple answer. It's a no-brainer because of the societal structure, the labyrinth that we operate in. So then what do we do for men? Because there is not just intergender harassment, there is intragender harassment as well. So you have to have policies which take care of everyone. We had launched an initiative called the Gender Diversity Initiative in Torrent, where we invited responses from all the employees, irrespective of gender, irrespective of categories, as to what they felt should be done to encourage women at the workplace. So from a ratio of 1.85% of women employees at a group level, the objective was to go to an 8% in the next 2 years. Right? A very focused, a very pointed objective. How do you achieve it? Simply by focusing on certain aspects, certain activities that are practically doable for you as an organization. So what were the simple things to do? Start with identifying the roles where you can have women, you can have differently abled people, because there was also an initiative we ran subsequently for differently abled people, and I'll come to that later. We implemented very simple things. What is it that deters a woman from coming to a workplace? One is safety, right? Safety at the workplace. Safety during commute. Because a lot of people, as urbanization increases, come from the far-fetched areas into the city to work. So providing them commute, providing them safe conveyance from and to the workplace, right? Ensuring that their hygiene factors are taken care of at the workplace. And eventually coming to initiatives like, in our society, typically, the woman is the caretaker, the nurturer of the family, and the man is the provider who goes out and gets the income to run the family. So how do you change this complete mindset? The nurturer has to be given flexibility, freedom to take care and balance both the aspects of her life, right? Are you getting it? So basically, giving them flexible working hours, giving them flexibility to come into the workplace, giving them extended maternity leave, giving them time off to take care of ailing family members. Very simple initiatives, but very far-fetched impacts. Correct? Similarly, we came up with an initiative of hiring differently abled people. Now, how did this happen? We had gone to BK Institute for campus placements somewhere around 2010-11. And we had a visually impaired student who came in for the interview for a position in finance. This student was the first visually impaired MBA graduate in the state, by the way, and a brilliant student. The only ask at the workplace was he needed a laptop or a desktop with a braille keyboard and a voice over system. That's about it. He brilliantly performed. He, in fact, outperformed everyone who could compete with him at the workplace because his pointed focus was on his workplace. We've all heard it. बड़े बोलते हैं बड़े बुजुर्ग कि जब भगवान एक चीज़ ले लेते हैं, एक सेंसोरियल एबिलिटी ले लेते हैं, they replace it with certain other sensorial abilities, right? So that's how it works. The main focus that organizations need to give is to identify what are those factors that are either enabling or disabling people at the workplace. Once you get those in place, you can have very, very specific strategies in place to cater to them. Correct? Tatas have been running a lot of brilliant programs on not just gender diversity, on DEI in general. Tatas were in fact the first company, the first group in the country to have a transgender hiring initiative as well. Not just that, Tata's run a lot of employee resource groups that support the differently abled employees. There are employees who are dedicated to ensuring that the differently abled employees are safe and comfortable and being able to avail resources that will enable them to perform at the workplace. So it's all about the mindset at the end of the day. Just to conclude, I have a little daughter who's studying in grade 1 currently. And last year, around June, July, she came up to me one day after school and she said, "Mama, put this song called Pasudi on YouTube." All of you have heard it? Yes. I believe most of you. What does the video of that song depict? What does it depict? It's completely talking about Pasudi means problem. Yeah, it doesn't mean problem, it has a different meaning. But if you see the video, okay, it's completely depicting. It was released in the Pride month with a very specific objective of highlighting the differences, the diversities that exist in the LGBTQ community. So you have male dancers performing Kathak in the video. You have a lot of other differently dressed up people in the video, right? It's all about respecting differences. And I'm very proud to say that at kindergarten level, children in that school are being taught about what is diversity and how do you respect differences among people. Grade 1 children are tagged with students who come through RTE so that they understand what is the background of the child that they have been tagged with, right? To understand how privileged they are as compared to the other child, to try and develop their own sense of how they can facilitate the other child in developing herself or himself. And that's simply what organizations also need to do. It begins with owning it at the leadership level. However, each and every employee also has to own it. The way there is someone who has something unique or different in them, they may also perceive you the same way, right? You have to respect the differences and develop your initiatives around them.
So thank you, Miss Miti. It was really an insight to hear about how the things are also moving into corporate. I would like to actually thank all the panel members for giving up a valuable insights that they have provided across and how the things could be changed across. And as rightly said by Nisheeth sir, निष्ठा और अगर प्रतिज्ञा से काम करना है तो कुछ भी पॉसिबल है. And that is what is one of a very good key takeaway along with a very beautiful message. Change your mindset. Once the mindset has been changed, everything can be done. If you are ready to accept it, you need to change first from yourself and then take it ahead. I would like to invite Bhavin Patel, our fellow colleague from the NHRDN fraternity, to offer a vote of thanks to all the panel members.
So now, good afternoon, everyone. How's the Josh? How's the Josh? Great. So, ladies and gentlemen, today, as we conclude this remarkable session on DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, I am honored to express the vote of thanks from my deepest gratitude on behalf of NHRD and Ahmedabad chapter and GLS. First of all, thank you panel, Sundeep sir, Miti Randeri, Nisheeth sir, and Maria Sharma for this wonderful session. Especially I would like to thanks to Nisheeth sir, who has really wonderfully implemented differently abled employees to his employment. So thank you very much. Lastly, as we leave this session with new knowledge, connections, and memories, let us remember the power of coming together to learn, share, and grow. Thank you very much.